Today, in honor of International Women's Day, we have an artist with us who's made the jump from the world of finance to art. And joining us via Zoom from Paris is Joya Cousin. Morning, Joya. Bonjour, I should say.
Bonjour and happy International Women's Day.
And happy International Women's Day to you also. First off, as we said, it's International Women's Day, and we know that you have been making waves in the world of art. Can you share with us your own experience as a female artist, what it's been like for you, the pros and the cons?
Well, I have to say that it has been an absolutely wonderful experience for me. I got my start quite late after going the traditional route, so to speak. But I have no regrets whatsoever. Women have been and still are underrepresented in the world of art, but I'm happy to be making my place, especially as a portrait artist. There aren't very many of us out there right now, but I would encourage any other woman who wants to dip her toes into the world of art to go for it. I have no cons at all so far.
Okay. And you've created portraits for a wide range of clients, including notable figures like Army US Major General David Wilson. What I really want to get at, what do you enjoy most about capturing the essence of these persons? Because these are portraits. What do you enjoy most about capturing their personality and capturing their likeness?
For me, everyone has a story. It's a lot about curiosity. Painting a portrait for me is almost like reading someone's biography without really reading it, because I'm the one that's creating their story on canvas. A lot of times I have the opportunity to learn more about my clients, but sometimes it's a posthumous portrait, or sometimes it's a portrait of a baby. And I'm the one who gets to express something of their personalities, but also their potential, because I really do believe in people. And for my clients, the reason why I work with clients is I just believe that expressing our potential, expressing our stories is important for every human being, and especially for women. Every time I have the opportunity to have a woman as a client and to paint her portrait, it is a joyous experience for me. That is one of the highlights. And I really wish more women would come forth and have the courage to do that. If you look in museums, they're full of kings and emperors and men. There are a few notable exceptions, such as the Mona Lisa, but in general, the people who have been considered worthy of portraiture have been men throughout history. And I really like to see that change, and I'd like to be a part of changing that. I'd like to think that I'm doing my part towards changing that every day.
So, are there any females that you would love to paint? Since I know you're talking about let's fill these world of art with females, are there any woman that is your dream person to paint?
The thing about being an artist is, especially in the world of today, you don't have to wait. So you can literally paint anybody that you want. Right behind me is Iris Apfel, who has been an inspiration for me because she rose to fame after a long, illustrious career around the age of 80. And she started being celebrated. And she died just this week at the age of 102 and a half. So for me, I painted Iris not because she commissioned me, but just because I found her story and her personage to be inspiring. So literally, who don't I want to paint? And I think that I will get around to painting sort of all of my heroes and all of my inspiring characters eventually. I don't have a lot of free time to sort of do studio work at the moment outside of my commissions. But I think that I will get around to painting, all the women that I admire eventually.
I know for some persons, artists, they prefer to have their subjects sitting there and they sit and they meticulously go through painting every detail. For you, I know you can look at a photo, you can look at a video, but would you prefer in some instances to have the person right there as you paint them?
Absolutely. That would be the dream for me. It's just that at the moment, it's not something that's very feasible, especially for most of my clients. About 90% of them are US based and a lot in the Caribbean as well. But it is something that I look forward to doing. So maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, I will be able to have a studio that I can open it up and have my clients come and sit with me. But as with every other obstacle, if you can't go over it, you go under it, you go around it, or you wait. And I'm in the process of waiting and doing everything else I can in the meantime until I can have that live studio experience where I can paint my subjects in person.
Well, I know you've painted hundreds of persons. Well, that's what your bio said. So for you, you've worked with different cultures, you work with male, female. What has it been like to work with these different persons from different cultures, different backgrounds? Are there any particular, and I don't say Antigua, but is there anyone from any particular region or area that you just enjoyed working with them?
You know what? I paint all ethnicities, but I love painting Black people, and especially Black women. But I enjoy painting, Black men as well, Black families. I love seeing Black love expressed. I've had a few Black couples who have come to me, and I've been able to do their wedding photos, and that has been a wonderful experience because I get to see sort of the narrative being changed when we talk about Black people, especially in America. Sometimes there's a history of degradation, and I like to see people who are taking the steps necessary to change that and to show people that Black love does exist, Black excellence exists, and we're here to claim that for ourselves.
For female artists, what are the biggest challenge that they face right now in the industry?
I think all artists are facing very many challenges at the moment, but I think as women, as an artist, you kind of have to stand on your own 2 feet and you literally have to fight for recognition. You have to fight for visibility. And traditionally, women have been sort of asked to or relegated to the corner. If you speak too much for yourself, you may be considered arrogant or pushy or full of yourself. Whereas if it's a man, it's seen completely in a different light. So for me, I think that is the biggest challenge that women are facing. It's an internal battle. And I think you're required really to keep pushing and also to develop that backbone and to believe in yourself. I think confidence is probably the biggest requirement to keep pushing through as an artist, as a woman, as a female artist. I think artists are both put on a pedestal and sort of degraded at the same time. People say, "Oh, I can't even draw a stick figure." But then, when it comes to forking out money and actually paying for your work and paying for your experience and paying for your creativity, that's where we start to get a little bit of friction. I have decided from the beginning to not fight sort of for gallery recognition here in France or try to find my place that way, but to build it based on what I love by connecting with clients. And I've been very lucky and very fortunate by choosing a way that kind of went into the back door. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to confront the gatekeepers. I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to connect with people and I'm going to serve people. And that's where my background comes into play. So for women, I think you have to use your head, be smart, be confident, and keep pushing. And don't knock your head against the wall. If people are telling you no constantly, find a back door, find a side door to go through. But most important of all is winning that internal battle and recognizing that if you have talent, if you have a passion, then you deserve a place at the table with the other artists, with all the other successful people who have been there through history and who are currently enjoying the sport. So women, get your place at that table by hook or by crook.
Indeed. And I have to mention this because your story kind of reads like a romance novel. So you're from Antigua, you find the love of your life, you move to Paris, the most romantic city in the world, and you're an artist. For you, how has that change been in general, just making that jump from the Caribbean to Paris?
I miss my home, I do. But I love living here in France, and it's wonderful to have found love. I think another thing that women sometimes struggle with is not being able to live out their fairy tale as they may have imagined it at a certain age. So there are women who are at 24, they're like, oh, I haven't found Mr. Right yet, I haven't had a child yet. And there's some of us who would rather wait until we find that right person as opposed to doing things by a certain time. And so that's kind of what I wake up and say to myself. I'm glad that I didn't settle. I'm glad that I didn't sort of feel that as a woman, I absolutely had to walk down that aisle before the age of 30 or even before the age of 40. I was 41 when I got married, and we're heading into 8 years of marriage this month. So, absolutely love it. I do miss my home, but I have no regrets. I love my story. I've loved every single moment of it, and I look forward to the future as well.
All right, Joya, we are so glad that you decided to join us today on this important International Women's Day, and we wish you continued success and joy in your journey with art. Au revoir.
Thanks so much for having me. Au revoir.